Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Ms Tique's. Sorry, I just had a bit of an issue with the speakers just then. So sorry. Welcome to Mystical Mystique Live TV. It is Thursday evening, the 3rd of December 2020. Now, aren't we keen to get 2020 out of the way? I'm just going to, just a bit of housekeeping up front. Welcome everybody that's joining in. I'm just going to wait a little moment until a few more of you join, and I am going to start sharing this live feed to some of my groups. So if everyone can like and share the page, that would be fantastic. Of course, if you share the live feed, it gives you a better opportunity of having your question answered throughout the evening. I'm here for approximately 2 hours, of course, if my voice holds out. So as I said, while everyone's starting to jump on, just a bit of housekeeping. If we can like and share the page, that would be absolutely awesome. It just gets the message, like our message of love and everything out to anyone else who may not even know that we exist as such, and it might help them along their journey in life. I'm trusting everybody is well. It's been a massive week with the full moon the other night. It brought us into many changes, and which I'll probably touch on a little bit later. As I said, I'm just going through and sharing this feed to a few of my groups. If you can do the same, as I've said before, that would give you a better chance of getting your questions answered this evening. It's nothing like sharing the love, especially when we need a bit of love to be shared. I see that a few of you are jumping on. Good evening, Stella. Hello, Danina. Thank you for attending my awards night last night. It was great to have your company. Hello, Beck. Hello, Jacqueline. Hello, David. Hello, Mary. Oh, thank you. I seem to be still celebrating my birthday somehow. I don't know. Someone actually told me when it's a big one, you should celebrate for a week. But then someone else told me last night that you should be sharing it. You should be celebrating it for a month. So I just think that's hilarious because I don't normally do things like that. Anyway, so how we're going with sharing the feed. A few of you have definitely started to jump on now, so I'm just going to finish up in this little bit of housekeeping where I'll go to one more. And there we go. It's so quick and easy to do. So if you don't do that, as I said, better chances of getting your questions answered tonight. Irma, hello, welcome. I don't think I've seen you before. Simone, good evening. Helen, Tony, you're all starting to jump on now. This is fabulous. Excuse me. Okay, and also too about the hello Kate, hello Paul, hello Donna, hello Kirsty Jade, hello Shaz. Wow, you're really all jumping on. Okay, while I have a few of you, and if I have your attention for one moment before we get into things, just in regards to the Christmas Eve show that I've put up the event for, and New Year's Eve, where I've said there's going to be lots of giveaways and prizes and so forth. This is the first, may I say, the first psychic TV show that is actually going to give away prizes and gifts. It was my way of making sure that nobody was alone at Christmas time. Henceforth, I will do those two particular shows starting from 10:30 in the evening, so we can go through till past midnight on both occasions to celebrate. It was also all about helping a lot of domestic violence victims. I've already secured and delivered a big thank you to Harvey Norman, who have supplied half a dozen laptops where I've already delivered those to the Domestic Violence Refuge, and they will be also the victims that are in that refuge at the time will also be tuning in on Christmas Eve, and they themselves, and if they have any kiddies, they don't seem to get they'll be going through such a rough time that they won't get a present, or they won't even be probably thinking about Christmas. So the idea started as that, and I've moved it forward to my unique viewers that I have on my live that you can be involved in as well. How I'm going to do that with your gifts and prizes will be from this point forward, since it is the beginning of December. Every show leading up to the Christmas one, if I can see that you have shared this live feed, your name will automatically from tonight go into a hat. So the more times it's shared, and the more times I know about that, you can inbox me and let me know. You can screenshot it. I don't care how you do it. A lot of times, if you've shared, I can see the shared wording above your name. So your name will automatically go into a box. So your name can go in a few times if you're watching every week and you have the ability to share it. So that's just a little, again, that's just something I'm asking for in return, because the word needs to get out about helping so many people in need. There are so many people that are crying out for some help, and it's just, I've been told over my years that, even my years on psychic TV, if sometimes you're reading for somebody else and that question is like particularly answered for that person, but somebody else may be watching and not have answered that, not have asked that question, but the responses seem to gel with them. And if it gels with them and helps them along, not only do you get your question answered, or you get, you get to share a message from spirit, but a lot of people just enjoy watching that don't ask a question because they're intrigued, or they're skeptical, or they just want a bit of a hand, or, they're struggling and they don't know how to ask for something. All these sorts of things come into play. So that is, that's part of me giving away things at Christmas and New Year. And I'm asking you if you could please share as much as you can. As I said, every time you share, your name will go into the hat. More chances of, winning prizes, and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be some great fun along the way, and I'm hoping many of you can certainly join in. Kirsty Jade, God love her. I'm just going to pop this up quickly. She's already said, she'd be sharing over December and looking forward to Christmas Eve with this tribe, as I'm all alone over Christmas. And because I called you Christy, but it's Kirsty Jade. Look, I really appreciate that. And for what it's worth, you absolutely won't be alone over Christmas, because I will be here. You've called them the tribe. I like it how maybe I should start another page, like, Ms Tique's tribe. No, I'm kidding. I've already got about 6 pages on Facebook. But yeah, it's a lovely way to kind of talk about people who are viewing this program at the same time. So, you will be connected with your tribe on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So please don't ever feel like you're alone, and, just reach out. That's all you have to do. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for jumping in. Okay, now I'm just going to go down. Ajay, first time here. Okay, so you're asking, how do I get a reading? Simply share the page, my love. If you share this page and I see that, then more chances of getting a reading. And at this stage, I'm just going down to see how we're all going. If anybody, I will point out that Pip, hello. Evening, sis. God love you. I hope you're doing okay after everything that's gone on. I forgot what I was going back to now. Doesn't matter. If you get, Ms Tique works alone. This is where I was heading. Ms Tique absolutely works alone. If you get because we do have some trolls that come on board, because it's a live feed and they can't be bothered, doing their own, so they will troll, many other live feeds. If you get a question, if someone inboxes you and says, like inbox them for a big reading or whatnot, please don't click on it, because they'll be after your money immediately. Okay, they they are ridiculous. Facebook already knows about it. All I can do is virtually try and block them as soon as I see them, and we kind of move on our merry way. So it's sad to think that people from other countries feel that it's okay to kind of jump in on someone else's feed and just try and troll everybody that's on there. So if you get, if anyone's going to respond to your question after this feed, because after I do the live, I actually go through and see if there's something that I really need to tap into to help. And then you might get a response from me, but it will come up with my name, so it won't come up with some crazy people's name. So I think, because now people are starting to ask questions, so I do believe that it's time to start going through. So I will. Sorry, I'm just going to go down to the bottom. Okay. I just saw something that was really weird. Just bear with me for 1 sec. No, I read the wrong word. I thought someone was saying. I thought it was a bit rude. Anyway, let's get going. Okay. Stella, thank you for joining. Lovely to see you. Okay, Mary, thank you for all your love and support. It's been fab. It's certainly been a huge week. But yeah. Tammy, welcome. It's great to see you. Thank you for your kind words. Now let me have a look at this. Let me have a look at Kate. Waiting to move. Will funds come through to allow me to do so very soon? My business is in limbo. Will it start up again? Kate, your business is you're going to laugh at the word, because the first word that came to me was from Spirit was that it's a gold mine. You yourself help many people, and I appreciate everything that I'm aware that you do, and anyone who persists to be bullied and harmed and all sorts of things, they need they need people like you protecting in many, many ways. And that's probably why Spirit directed me to the word gold mine, because as much as sometimes people don't want to speak out, you really do have a safe place. And the way it's delivered, the way that you deliver and present everything, is in a safe and loving way. And when you're dealing with kiddies, and to get the awareness out with kiddies, everything you do is done in a manner that they will understand. So I'm kind of happy that Spirit said gold mine, because if you're saying that your work is kind of like, filtered down, maybe a bit of COVID, maybe a bit of frustration with, like, maybe from parents having kiddies at home, doing homeschooling and so forth in the height of COVID, and maybe people haven't thought about your program, maybe thought about not having you in there into their business and whatnot. I'm going to touch on that word business, because Spirit seems to think that you can also channel into sending out proposals to business. Okay, that's just out of the blue. Spirit's jumped in with there. I don't know if you've actually thought about that. I mean, you probably have, because you're a businesswoman. However, Spirit is kind of saying, what you do with the younger generation is really, really impressive, but have you thought about delivering it to a higher realm in adulthood, into businesses, into possibly getting through some doors to do workshops? A lot of big businesses have got kiddies out there as well, but also too, like, turning part of your program from a child program to an adult program. Don't know how you feel about that. I feel that there could be a twist in there. I feel that, if you think outside the square, which you probably have to done, bad English, probably have had to have done through COVID, then I feel maybe that's a bit more of thinking outside the square. I think and I feel that there's other programs that you're going to come up with. And whether that stays in the kiddies field, that's okay. But Spirit has asked me to direct you to like adult program and putting something together for, you know, businesses and so forth that possibly even work with a bunch of children. That's really interesting because Spirit keeps saying adult/children, adult/children. That's all I'm seeing. So can you actually let me know, you know, comment later if you wish and think about that, and let me know if it's been actually a thought process already, because I think there's more that you can do with that program. And I think also too, by thinking outside the square again, you know, you've already done it, but doing it again highlights the necessity for something else. So I hope all that makes sense to you, my love. And please pop a comment on the bottom and let me know how you're going with that. Okay. Thank you, Kate. Thank you for joining. Donna, long time old friend of mine. Thank you for liking and sharing the page, and bless you on your compliments. That's lovely. Wondering if you have any answers for me from Christopher. Okay, the minute you're saying answers from Christopher, what questions are you wanting? Like what questions are you seeking answers for? Are you seeking the answer for why? You know, why did it happen? Why why are you not here? Why the distance? Why, you know, there seems to be a lot of unresolved, unthought through. Even I want to say, like, you know, part of your heart is missing because you're feeling so empty. You're feeling like there is so much that you should have known and that you didn't. And I actually want to say to you, I'm sorry, but in that sorry, it's like I feel that you really have a heavy heart. You're really stuck with kind of something inside your heart. Are you feeling that you didn't do enough? Are you feeling that you could have done more? Are you feeling like part of it is your fault? Because this is the feeling I'm getting in my heart. And I need to say to you, sweetheart, like, none of it is your fault. Like, I just called you a sweetheart then. I don't think I've ever done that with you. I just feel so much pain in my heart that, and not that someone's, you know, cut my heart in half, but it's more like that you have kicked yourself, or you seem to think that you should have done more. I could have done more. Why didn't I do more? And there's all this angst about, you know, you're supposed to be doing more. No, you're not supposed to be doing more. You've done everything that was humanly possible. And I don't understand why you're carrying so much guilt, because it's Spirit is saying it's not necessary. And when Spirit says it's not necessary, you need to release that and allow that to be free, because until you do, you're not going to be free. You will never be free of that guilt until you go through the process of freeing yourself up from that. And I say that with the greatest respect. If you're having trouble in trying to understand how you can release some of that, or all of it in hindsight, then get in contact with me, and you know, I will teach you how to do some, like, you know, healing processes with yourself. You know, people have said to me, I should have done that as a whole program and sold it to people, but I don't want to. I want to share with you. I want to teach you like healing mechanisms that you can all, I mean, anyone who's watching, if you need that sort of thing, you know, you need to kind of understand the process, adapt to the process, do part of the process, because I want to say to you that I will give you homework on it to be able to do it. And if you still can't do it on your own, then you know that I'm here to, you know, help you through. But sweetheart, you need to release a lot, because you're hurting. And you know, a bit like me, that you put on the clown face sometimes, because that's just who you are, and everybody thinks that you're okay because you're quite strong. But you know, underneath it, there are times when you can actually say, hey, I'm actually not okay and I need a little bit of a hand. And you know, these are one of these times. So let me know how you feel about that, because, you know, he's Christopher is fine, and Christopher kind of, you know, I smile sometimes when Spirit says, you know, you need a bit of a shake up, and that's coming through. You know, you need a bit of a shake up. Stop blaming, stop carrying the guilt, because there is no need. Yeah, he understands that it's not your fault, and if he understands it's not your fault, then why don't you? Do you know what I mean? So I say that with love and respect. So yeah, just let me know how you feel about that. Okay, I'm just going to scroll down the bottom. Okay, Kate has already come back. COVID stopped things and so happy it's going to start up again. Thank you. Yes, asking MP to help and said yes. Awesome. That MP, awesome. Yes, it's going to be Addison. Awesome. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Kate. I appreciate you jumping in so early after that and letting me know. That's just, yeah, brilliant. I couldn't be happier for you. Absolutely brilliant. Let me know how it goes though. You know, I feel there's still a little bit more to come, and something else that you're going to add to the mix. Yeah. And don't be scared of doing so. Okay. Alrighty. Now, who else has shared the lovely page? Who else can I have a look at? I'm going to go here. Kirsty's back. Good morning, good evening. I like that. Good morning, good evening. It's good evening here in Sydney. Might be good morning where you are. Please, can you provide guidance about how to hear spirit again? Also, I would love to know if you see any children in my future. Any messages for anyone on my mother's side? Kirsty, I'm. Thank you, and I'm actually going to say where you've got, you know, how you've got a few big questions in here. I don't know if I can answer the whole lot, but I want to say to you, okay, I want to say to you that giving you guidance about how to hear spirit again, you've got to believe in yourself again. If you heard from spirit before, think about how you how you possibly meditated prior to it, how you possibly cleared your mind, how you believed what you were hearing was actually from spirit rather than possibly what you wanted to hear. And there is a huge difference. Some people, when they think they hear from spirit, they're actually hearing themselves. And a great little testament to that is many years ago, my dad and I were not so flash. I'm just going to move your comment off screen for a second. Yeah, my dad and I weren't the best father and daughter, and he certainly didn't believe in anything that I did. And in saying that, when I had the feeling that he was going to pass, you know, I hadn't spoken to him for a very long time. And I said to my mum, I need to go speak to Dad. And she's like, what for? And I said, because he's going to pass, he needs my help. And she said, are you absolutely crazy? The man doesn't even respect you. And I said, doesn't matter. You know, I'm hearing from other spirit guides that that he needs me. So I went and knocked on his door, you know, and he looked horrible. So I trusted enough that I heard something about someone that I hadn't actually even seen for a very long time. And I didn't ask any questions. I just tried to help him. He only lasted a couple of weeks after that, and unfortunately he passed. However, it was very quick. And then I helped him, you know, after that with, you know, transitioning and so forth. However, you know, for someone who didn't believe what I could do from a very young age, because I've been talking to spirit since I was 3, then, you know, my dad, of all people, you know, he never came to me for probably a further 5 years. But when I very first heard, you know, from him, it was his voice. And he was continually telling me that he was sorry and he should have given me the respect that I deserved. Now, I questioned that in all my years of doing this. I questioned it because I wondered if was that just what I wanted to hear, or was that message coming through from him? So I actually went to see another psychic. So this is back in the 90s. I went and saw another psychic who didn't know me from a bar of soap. And he came through twice in that reading. and saying that he was sorry and so forth. So I understood that, yes, it was him. So sometimes if you're, excuse me, if you've heard from spirit before and you feel that you can't now, have a look at your surroundings, have a look at how you try and connect with spirit. But also too, look into your own heart and ask yourself, are you ready to bring that back into your life? Are you understanding the meaning of bringing it back into your life? And start coming back into believing in you. Because with the other things that are going on in your life, there's too much going on up here, and there's too many things that you'd like to change right now, but unfortunately some of them you can't. And with some, how do I want to say, with some confusion, with some being unfocused in some other issues, it's clouding your judgment on a few other things. And when your judgment is clouded, you're not really going to connect with spirit. So I'm going to say, give yourself some time with that. Take a step back and sort of ask yourself those things. Put yourself in different surroundings and make it a priority. If that's what you want to do, if you want to connect with spirit, make it a priority. And you've also asked about children in the future. If you're not with somebody right now, in 2 years' time there still won't be any children. Why? Because it's very hard to meet someone straight with I mean, yes, our restrictions are lifting with COVID, but it's still going to be very hard to meet somebody. So I have to say to anybody here tonight, if they're going to ask me about, are you going to meet your soulmate, or am I going to, find romance very soon? Please hold off on those questions in a way that, you've got to understand there's going to be a time, what would I call it, like a time freeze, that if spirit wanted to tell me 6 months, then that would probably be 12 to 14, 15 months, because there's going to be many, 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 many different ways that you cannot hook up with somebody, or you cannot spend the time with somebody. Are we all going to go in with a cheat sheet of, oh, well, how did you go through COVID? Did you catch it? Were you in a hot spot? Do you know anyone with COVID? We don't want to meet someone and have conversations with people like that. It dulls everything. It dulls everything else. You know what? It really does. And I have to say to you, Kirsty, there is a lady who I believe is your mother's mother, so your grandma. I believe it's her that watches over you. I believe it's grandma that you wanted to connect with because you used to. And I want to say that, as a child, with all due respect, when you're a child, you told your grandma far more than what you told your mum. So there is a beautiful connection there. So, yeah, it's too much to give you a complete reading, sweetheart, on all the questions that you've asked. However, anyone can always book in for, a reading with me. Just go to my website. It's scrolling on. No, it's not scrolling on the bottom, but it is mystique.net. And yeah, try and do it that way. Okay. Now I'm just going to again come down, have a look, make sure there's no lunatics on here. I say that with respect. Don't think there's much wrong with you. Are spot on. I'll text you on it. Okay, alrighty. No problem, Donna. It's yeah, oh. It's something that just, yeah, kind of needs to be done. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, just making sure I don't have. Okay. Okay, so you're saying that your gran is still alive. Is it then one more removed? If it's one more removed, because she was an older woman, so I don't know. That could be an auntie, a great grandma. It was somebody when you were a child that used to read to you, if that makes sense. So along that line, yeah. Okay. Let me know how that goes. Wow, there's so many of you tonight. So many. Oh, it's going to be a big night, I think. I think it's going to be a big night. But that's okay. Okay. Randomly, what am I getting? Okay, going here. It was pretty good, thank you, Sharon. I did something with a very dear friend, Danina, and we stayed at the Taronga Zoo in Sydney retreat. Absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. Better than a 5-star hotel, I think. And yeah, although I'll drop a little kind of a little secret now on my Facebook postings. So anyone who's on here that's known me for many years, Anthony, if you're still here, David, you might be still here. Donna, I haven't seen you for a while, but you know, Pip, you too, if you're still here. There was a few pictures of me with cocktails and beer and all this sort of stuff, supposedly, you know, celebrating with myself as such. And yeah, you guys were all saying like cheers back and wish I was there and enjoy your drink and whatever. I don't drink. Did anyone not see that there was something wrong with those pictures? Or maybe you all thought, wow, she's having a big birthday, so she's going to get drunk. But no, I don't drink. So there's many pictures up with. So I've just spoiled all that now. If everyone thought, wow, she really looks like she's having a great time. We had a great time trying to do it because God loved Danina. We were just, you know, sitting and COVID, well, yeah, and total strangers. She was saying, excuse me, can we just borrow your drink for one moment? Because it's this one's birthday and we need to photograph her having a drink. Pretend. So we're getting drink from strangers. But how lovely was that? So they're all in on the joke. And none of you guys, no one that I've known, I mean, Anthony, I've known you, what, 40 years? No one said, you don't drink. It's just funny. I'm just remembering all that now. It's just hilarious. Anyway, I've gone off track, so let's get back on track. My husband lost his job today. Will he get another one soon? Stressed out. Okay, Sharon, I'm very, very sorry that happened. And I feel though, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, anyone can do that if they wish. Probably not the nicest thing to do, but you know, you can. I'm happy for feedback. But what I feel here, you know, it's tough. But I actually, and you're probably not going to like this. Well, I shouldn't say that. But as much as it's stressful with hubby losing his job, Spirit tells me he wasn't overly happy there anyway. Spirit tells me that there was a few things going on that he couldn't change. And the more he couldn't change it, the more frustrated he got. Although I don't think he expected to actually lose his job as such. And losing it in tough times makes it even harder. And I guess, you know, anyone, and including him, would have said, you know, even if I don't like it or even if it's rough, I've still got a job. So I guess that was kind of the thoughts that were going through his head. And that's why I said you probably wouldn't like that, because it's more about, even if you didn't like being there at this time of, you know, coming through COVID, where everyone, I think, has taken a huge smack in finances. Then there's also too, we're coming up for Christmas, and now some of the, you know, restrictions are easing. Like, people want to get together and celebrate. People want to get in and have some fun. You know, still under the guidelines of, you know, keeping distances and so forth, but you know, so it's a rough time to lose a job. Do I think he's going to get another one before Christmas? It's not that fun. You know, Christmas is only, what, 3.5 weeks away now. And I feel that I have to be honest. Spirit is saying probably not before Christmas. But they're smiling. So something seems to come out of it. And I know you see he lost his job today. Something seems to come out of him losing this job. And now I don't know whether that's you get onto Centrelink immediately and report you know, that's what's happened. And there's, you know, there's some relief that comes through there, because Spirit is advising me there's still some financial to get before Christmas, regardless of him having a job or not. I do feel, though, where Spirit is directing me, that there's people in the know. So there's people that he's worked with previously, not in this particular job, people that he's worked with previously. If he kind of, again, this is, I don't fluff around with certain things that I hear from Spirit, so I have to say it as I hear it. It's almost like if he wants to sit there and mope that he's lost his job, and I understand that he's angry, and I understand it's very stressful, but Spirit is saying that if he wants to sit and mope, he's not gonna get anything. So he has to be a little bit proactive and kind of wipe the mope away and kind of go, well, okay, it's happened. I can't change it. Really can't change it. What do I need to do, though, to get myself back out there? Spirit is saying, check his contacts, not the contacts with this particular job. Check his contacts from previous jobs. Get the word out there that he's, you know, he's ready, willing, and able to do some work, because it seems to be that someone that he knows from past will come through and sort of say, do you know what? I've got some work for a few weeks. Will that tie you over for a bit? And it's in those moments that he's got a chance then to look for something else. Yeah. So it seems to be that something or someone comes to the, I don't want to say comes to the rescue, because he needs to put the word out. And the minute he does that, people start sort of saying, do you know what? I've got a few things that you can do. How about you do that? And then you kind of go on, you know, back on your path type thing. Yeah. So that's what I feel from Spirit. And Spirit sort of saying, you know, if he's angry with me for saying, you know, he can't mope about it, then so be it. Because if you mope about it for too long, then he's lost another week. You know, he's lost another fortnight, and then Christmas is upon you. So he's kind of, Spirit is kind of saying, don't sit in the mope corner. Go through your phone. Everyone spends a lot of time on their phone. Go through your phone. Go through some contacts. Even with your friends, just let them know. Because the more you talk about it, so it's not a bad thing to talk about as such. The more you talk about it, the more it's getting out there. The more you're inviting others to hear your situation and know what he can do, and then he'll get an offer. Yeah. So I feel that's going to be okay. Just let me know in the next week or so, or even let me know later tonight how he feels about that when you tell him, because he I don't like to say this about men, but sometimes men sort of mope a bit longer than women, and that's just really general. So don't get cranky with me. The men that are watching, don't get cranky with me, because it is just in general. I did say most. You know, I don't put everybody in that same category. I'm just saying it as most, yeah, because that can happen. Sorry, I'm just scrolling down to make sure I don't have any trolls. Man, you guys are... okay, we do have one. James Christian whatever. See, you just, when I take an opportunity to have a look, you just kind of know. If anyone is, I can see that he's inboxing a few people for in-depth spiritual guidance, protection, whatever. Yeah. So I'm just blocking him and reporting that to Facebook. And if he continues, well, he's blocked from this point forward anyway. So, you know, you just knew. I can also just see Kim, Jackie, you did a scam alert for me anyway, but it was right down the bottom. I can't, because it's only me. You know, I do the readings. You know, I go down the list and do the readings, so that's why I do take, you know, a couple of seconds to scan in the bottom every so often, because I can't see them all scrolling up at once. So, anyway, thank you for alerting me regardless. Lenos Green, is that how I say it, Lenos? I don't know where you're tuning in from. If you want to let me know, because it's an unusual name, I'd appreciate that. You've said you've liked and shared, so I'm hoping that's correct. Is there a message for my twin flame? Currently, we are in separation. Okay. Being in separation is not a bad thing for you guys right now. Why do I say that? The reason why I say that is Spirit has told me that it's time to take a breather. It's time to take a step back and kind of work out, and the way I say it, reappreciate one another. There seems to have been a lot of to and froing. There seems to be from one side some uncertainty about a particular issue, which I don't want to say live on air. And I think there was a little bit of argy-bargy with that. And henceforth that has created time apart. Spirit is advising me that time apart is a good thing. However, it doesn't feel like a good thing for you because I'm feeling your pain at the same time. It's almost like you're sitting there, willing the other to come back, but willing in a way where sometimes it takes over a fair amount of your day. And I say that with respect. I'm not saying you can't do it, but if you allow it to take over majority of your day, you don't become like you lose focus on certain things. And when you lose focus, you lose clarity. So you have to be very careful in putting all that effort and all that energy into kind of like, every day saying when it's gone on too long, when I'm hurting, all these sorts of things. You need to give it its time. Spirit is saying that, stop. It's a bit harsh when they say, stop. Kind of stop. Putting yourself through some of that pain. However, I really believe it will do you both a world of good to remain just a little bit longer, to really come to resolution for some of these issues. But at the same time, you can already start to appreciate the good things that you have, because those good things will come back. And when I say, I'm smiling because I feel that those good things will come back. So where there was a little bit of doubt, where there was some uncertainty, where there was a little bit of argy-bargy going on, it's needed. The universe put you apart for that very reason, that you can take some time. Yes, some of that time is, part of that time is hurt, but the other part of that time is now that you spin that around and go, what have I got to look forward to when we get back? When we connect again. It's more about, do I write down everything that I appreciate? Because when I have it and I appreciate, it's then that you can say, wow. Because then you have a newfound appreciation when you come back, in line with one another as such. Because it's only then that the little argy-bargies from this point forward, inside you and inside your soul, inside your heart, you now have the full known believing of what you value in one another, what you truly miss, what you can really appreciate about the other person. It comes back a different way, and then your heart is so much fuller. Okay, so yeah, I don't think it will be a long time from here, but at least give it another 3 weeks. And it will be very close to Christmas, where I think that your heart will kind of go, oh my God, I'd like that for Christmas. But again, start the appreciation, because when you start the appreciation, things will turn around, my love. Absolutely turn around. So I hope that helps you. And yeah. Oh, Alison, look, it was so good. I was really chuffed, and so were the women at the refuge. Any sufferer of domestic violence or any trauma, they do kind of, they hide for a bit, because they've got to get over their anger, they've got to get over their pain, they have to heal. They go through a multitude of emotions, and the refuges don't have a lot to offer. Yes, they can offer them, shelter, and some of these, women get there with nothing in their wallets and, a couple of kitties and all sorts of things, so they can, get their shelter, but they don't often get, everything that, you and I and the next door neighbor, would have. So it was, again, it was just a simple thought And I always say to people, you know, if you don't ask, you don't get. And I really didn't know if they would come to the party. They saw I was a very long-term, you know, purchaser of goods there. I told them what I do. I told them, you know, I told them my thought process. I gave them the statistics on how domestic violence has escalated so much, so much. It's so frightening through COVID that more people were seeking help, and there was no room for a lot of people. So, you know, the world, what goes around comes around, and yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to, jump on this one. Joshua, yes, it is live tonight. I had awards night this week and I didn't do Tuesday. So I put up a post to say that I would do Thursday this week. And then, of course, next week we are back to Tuesday night, yeah? So, yeah. We had big issues regarding my kids and his alcohol addiction. I fell from my spiritual self trying to help him. I'm now following. Well done. Well done. However, I want to tell you that getting help is it's a big thing. It's a big, I just had to listen to spirit there. It's a big thing for him to actually ask for help because I feel that he didn't believe he needed help. And, you know, and I think that was also part of the distance thing as well. However, you know, someone who wants to, you know, put their hand up and go, do you know what, I need some help, then allow him to get that help, because I think that's a good thing. I think that's showing, you know, adulthood, and it's showing that, you know, he's prepared to work on himself too. And if you're giving yourself that value to, you know, for your own, like, you know, following your true self and understanding that you're important too, then that's a good thing as well. Yeah. So really pleased to hear that. Awesome. Just let me know how it goes. Okay. That'd be wonderful. Okay. What have I got next? Where are all my sharers tonight? I hope you're liking and sharing the feed. Because your name, anyone who's joining a bit later, anyone who likes and shares the feed, obviously is a greater chance of getting a reading, but also too for beginning of December up until the Christmas Eve show. Doesn't matter how many times that you share, your name will be plucked out of my screen and written down and put into a hat, if you like, for the Christmas giveaways and prizes and so forth. So yes. Samantha, I just saw your comment. Thank you so much. You know, there's, in a way, COVID has got people to stop and smell the roses. COVID, anyone who, you know, even has money in life, you couldn't use it through COVID. It wasn't going to buy your way out of lockdown or anything like that. So I was hoping that COVID just sort of like made people realize that no one else is you know, no one's more important than you. No one's better than you in hindsight. If you're thinking, you know, even in this industry, if someone wants to think that they're better than somebody else and whatnot, well, more fool them, because there's so much work to go around and there's so much abundance to be had by all. Then we're all different. Like, you know, we all have gifts. And a lot of our psychics, we're all very different, and that's what the beauty is. You're drawn to somebody, you know. You might be drawn to one or two different psychics. You might be drawn to half a dozen. You might be only drawn to one. You know, something will gel with you to kind of look at me and go, well, she's pretty legit. You know, she's pretty accurate. I want to follow her. I want to, you know, I want to get involved with her. I connect with her. So it's not about competition. It's not about, you know, someone's better than me or not better than me, or I'm better than. It's not about that at all. Like, I have absolutely no ego. Absolutely not. because once you go down that path, it's very, very hard to come back to being you again. So anyone else who possibly is listening that, you know, needs to find themselves again, needs to stop and smell the roses, you know, it's the best thing that you can do for yourself, because you're important. But, you know, you can, you know, it's a compliment if you want to be like someone or want to dress like someone, or they might be doing something that you think, oh, I can give that a crack too. That's great. It's a little bit of a, you know, someone who has, you know, they admire you. But there comes a point where you start to see a bit of jealousy, or you start to see a bit of intimidation. You start to, and you go, what for? Like, what for? There is no reason, you know. So, Samantha, I'm so happy that you've done that, and I know the nursing home would have been so flattered. And yeah, you know what? When my nan was in a nursing home, you know, every year I still do it. I still rock up with some chocolates and whatever for the nurses, and I just walk around the ward. I shouldn't call it a ward. I used to work in a hospital. I'm so used to saying that. But I walk around the rooms, and if somebody was there alone, I just walk in and sit with them. You know, have a cup of tea with them, whatever the case may be. If anyone's got some time, you know, it's just the most beautiful thing to do. It doesn't take much of your time. Okay, let me okay. No other troll at the moment. Yay! So let's get back to okay. So now some of the comments have gone crazy. Guys, if you've posted a question in the last 10 minutes, can you please repost it? Because it just seems like I use StreamYard as my carrier, and it just seems that they've just blocked out a whole lot of questions. Anyway, let's move on. Lola, I'm really well, thank you. How are you going? I trust you're well yourself, and you're getting, you're feeling okay. Let me know how you're traveling. That'd be great. Who else have I got here? Dana, will I get the house I looked at yesterday? Interesting. Did you only look at one? Spirit seems to tell me there's a choice of two. Oh, real particular now. I think you've looked at one recently, and then there's this is the second one today or something. And Spirit's very cheeky. So I had a bit of a giggle. Spirit is very cheeky in saying you have to weigh up. Wow. Okay. Okay. Spirit slapping me now. I've got to say it a different way. Are you a good cook? Spirit says, I know you're cooking, but the choice will come down to the kitchen. I don't know why Spirit is saying that, but the choice comes down to the kitchen. Where if you have looked at two, because they keep showing me the two, if one kitchen is far more functionable than the other, and you enjoy being in the kitchen, then you have to lean towards that and put all your energy focus into that. If that was the one for today, because clearly there's a little bit of a smile on today's one, then focus tonight on manifesting that one in, because I feel that you'll get a phone call. What's today? Thursday? No, that's too quick. I don't think you'll get a phone call till about Monday or Tuesday. But you need to kind of not necessarily meditate to over bring it in, but just sit quietly with yourself and kind of go, do you know what? It was really lovely. I love the way the kitchen is laid out. I can work around how it's laid out because I enjoy being in there a lot, all this sort of stuff. and start talking like that as if you are undoing boxes and putting things away. Because when you can visualize that kitchen, because Spirit keeps focusing on that kitchen, if you can visualize that kitchen, but also visualize yourself opening boxes and putting things where you would put them, then that is going to bring the abundance into you. Yeah. So yeah, I keep seeing that you're not going to hear till Monday or Tuesday. I still think it will go in your favor because you're like, Spirit is smiling. So, and when they're smiling, I'm kind of happy with that. But there's always a but. Like Spirit is saying but they're not saying but what, but what, but what, but what. Okay, just make sure that all your finances are in order too, because there could be a little hiccup with finances. If you get told yes on Monday, make sure the finances are really ready to go. So make sure you have enough for your bonds and stuff like that, because that could be a little bit of a key. Because I think from next week things will happen rather quickly, and you need to be prepared. Okay, but as I said, Spirit is smiling, so I'm going to smile with Spirit. Yeah. Okay. Let me know how you feel with that. Okay. Hi, Nita. Yes, I am well. Thank you so much. Do you have any spirit messages for me, please? I have a bit of a cheeky person in my ear, which is why I had a bit of a giggle. Not surprised now that I've actually looked at a couple of cards. I was drawn to look at a couple of cards for a reason. When I'm listening to Spirit, I don't really worry about the cards. However, I hope there's some work going on with yourself. Oh, okay. I have Spirit right here. Just made themselves known on my window. Anyway, just another distraction. You're doing some work on yourself. I feel that there's been a little bit of a hold up with that. I feel like you've started. I feel like something got in the way, and that's okay, because if it did get in the way, that's all very good and well. But you need to go back to it. You need to focus on it. Spirit also says that. Wow, that's particular. In one of your drawers in your bedroom, there is a blue scarf with a bit of a swirl on it. I believe it was given to you by someone in your family that has passed. Now, I actually want to say to you, with all due respect, I want to say to you that this spirit is not angry. I have to say, this spirit is not angry, and the spirit will never be angry, but they kind of want to know why it's in the drawer and never taken out and used. Okay, if you don't want to wear it as a scarf as such, there's many other uses for it. You can even wrap some soap, like some pure soap, in it, and not necessarily have the soap on display as such. But there's a company that makes really really fragrant soap that's just in slabs, and you can wrap that up in a scarf, and that can be placed in your buzzer so you'll get the smell. You need to utilize that scarf. As I said, I believe it's blue with something white swirling in it, given to you from a passed over loved one. I don't want to say it's grandma as such, but I am getting that it's kind of around that age bracket. But Spirit is also talking about a next door neighbor. So I believe that you've also, not necessarily of recent, but at times when you're growing up, I kind of want to take you back probably 6 to 7 years, and one of your next door neighbours who you got on with very well, they kind of come in and watch over you as well. So that's very lovely. It's very exciting. So there's a very special bond there too. And I believe that, that bond started by just talking over, Spirit shows me like, talking over a fence. Originally it was just, your hellos, goodbyes and whatnot, and just talking over a fence. And that bond just became and older than you, but that bond became very special. It would end up that you were checking on one another, which that's nice. But yeah, the main message from Spirit really is that, don't be angry with yourself if you've stopped working on some of those things that we talked about before, and also too that in your work scenario, I'd like to know a bit about if that's still in the same situation, or has that changed? Because Spirit's directing me to also, they've kind of stopped in looking for that as well. Yeah. Again, no one's angry. Things get in the way. We're coming up against Christmas, so there's a multitude of things that people need to do to enable it. So everyone gets busy. Yeah. So no one certainly is pointing a finger at anyone at any time if they're too busy to do some work on themselves. It's more about just kind of like making yourself aware that you do need to do it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, just scrolling down, making sure this person is blocked. There's another one. Wow, they really went to town on people, didn't they? Okay, let me see who I've got. Okay. Well, Spirit is very active tonight. When I seen you with that beer, I was in shock. I thought you were having a big one. Well, yeah, it was a big one, but yeah, it was pretty funny, Jacqueline. Like, it really was pretty funny. Okay, I'm just going to Andrew. I think there was some. I think you'd asked a different question earlier as well that I've obviously missed. If you had a specific question, that would be good. I actually want to, since I don't know if you've got one down the bottom of a particular specific question as such, I do want to kind of go on the path though, where Spirit is taking me for a little walk, a little wander in your world, to virtually say that something I want to go. I only want to go back probably about 6 months, and something stuffed up, and it was kind of a big stuff up. However, owning that stuff up has done you well. But don't dwell on it. And I've just got the card. I mean, I don't like the word letting go, but I've just got a card that actually said that there seems to be a whole lot of things coming forward to you. But if you're still walking around with rose-colored glasses about something else, you're missing what's right in front of you. So it's almost like Spirit wants to say, stop mulling over some stuff that you can't change. But there's no need for change as such with that, because that's gone. Okay, but you can't kind of keep sitting there going, but what if this, and what if I hadn't have said this, or what if I hadn't have done that? Things would be different. No, they wouldn't be different. It would just would have taken longer to get to the point that we are today. Yeah. Again, with respect, I want to say to you that you've lost some confidence, and that general spark that you normally have is not quite there at this point. So you have a great sense of humor. You have a really kind heart, but there's just part of that spark is just not there right now. And Spirit is saying, it's almost there. Stop what ifing. There's a few of my probably long-term clients on here, and it's one of my pet hates about, because if you start thinking, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that, like, you're going to create yourself some turmoil. There's no point, because what ifs generally don't happen. There's no point worrying about it. You're throwing your energy in the wrong direction, yeah? So take a bit of a step back before you can take that leap of faith, because that leap of faith is right in front of you. You just haven't been seeing it. So there's multitudes of opportunities there. And that Spirit just keeps showing me, it's like you've shut the door. For a moment, you just want to shut the door. You don't, with respect, you don't need to hide. You don't need to, you don't need to be behind this door and hide. There's people out there waiting to welcome you. Yes, COVID has buggered up a lot of things in a lot of areas for a lot of different people, but it's not necessarily COVID that's got you blocked behind these doors. It's something that's obviously is niggling at you, that has happened previously, which I understand it's this year, which has kind of made you step back and kind of not be, you're kind of, you're a person that likes being out there. You're a person that, don't get me wrong, it's not, I'm not saying you're a person who loves attention and stuff. I mean, that's not where I'm going. It's more about, you love communicating with this person. You love saying good morning to this person. You walk down the street, if there was a man with a cart with vegetables in it or fruit or whatever, you'd be saying hello to him and making sure that his day was okay. You're a jovial type of person, but all of a sudden you want to come back and hide. Excuse me. Coming back and doing that is doing you no favors. So Spirit is saying, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and, all over here, I can't change whatever. Get this back into order. Focus on you. When you focus on you, more clarity. More clarity, yeah? Then I want you to open that door. I just want you to open that door and be you. Because being stuck, if you remain being stuck, you're just not things aren't going to change. And I virtually see, as much as COVID has buggered up, a few people, I virtually see that too, that there's, I think a little while ago, you're kind of seeking a change in employment as well. And it seems that those sorts of doors will open for you because, you're going to put yourself out there. You're going to put your best foot forward again. And when you do that, more things come to you, sweetheart. So just, it's almost like saying to yourself, bring it on, I'm ready. Because you are ready. I see that you're ready. You may not at this point, but I see that you're ready. So embrace who you are, my love. And when you embrace who you are and understand all that, the world becomes your oyster. And I just want you to, as of tonight, just start embracing who you are. Yeah. Let me know how that sits with you, because I would like to hear you. That would be great. Would be fabulous. Thank you, my love. And thank you for connecting. Let me have a look. Now, where else are we going? Okay. Hopefully he wasn't happy there, and he has started to contact our work. Okay. Well, the moping part seems to just, it affects you and it puts you in like a wrong frame of mind where you sort of become, oh, well, I'll do that later, or, I'll bring that person later, or I'll worry about that later. And later might be 2 weeks later, and then it's gone. So thank you for clarifying that. That'd be great. Because, yeah, all excuse me, this sort of validation is proof in the pudding of, you know, my passion and my integrity, and how I can, you know, tune into your energy. And, you know, I only get to see like a little profile picture, really. It's so tiny that comes up on my screen, but, you know, spirit always jumps in. And you know, even if you've asked a particular question, it's funny sometimes where spirit will always then you know, may direct me into another area, because spirit always directs me into the most important thing that you need to know right now. So yeah. So thank you, everybody. And I think it's also, you know, a little bit of a stop and breather to virtually say, anyone that's jumped on recently, if you missed the beginning, please like and share this live feed. It gives you a better opportunity to be chosen for a live reading. And also to, from this point forward, to my Christmas Eve show. I will still be here every Tuesday night. This week was a bit different because I had awards nights to go to. And thank you, everybody who wished me good luck for that. I didn't bring home the trophy this year. I mean, as you can see behind me there, that's last year's trophy. So, but, you know, just to be chosen as a finalist, and I was up for 3 categories last night, which was awesome. You know, that's pretty elite as it is. So I already felt like a winner before I, you know, entered the arena last night. But yeah, it was really, really fab. But I had some things to prepare for that. So this week, yes, it's tonight. Every other week leading up to Christmas and normal, it's going to be Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. We're back to that. So if you like and share the live feed, throughout any of my live feeds coming up to Christmas, your name will be continually popped into a barrel. Well, I shouldn't say barrel, because it's going to go into a hat. And there'll be prizes, there'll be gifts, there'll be all sorts of things. And you just never know what I'm going to pop up with, you know, because somehow I can make things happen. Harvey Norman was one of them. So, you know, that's all very good. Okay. Let me see. Who else have I got? Who else have I got? Okay. Okay. Joshua, I'm going to go with you. On the 7th marks the passing of someone very important. I'd love to pass something along to his mum, who I'm hoping to see on the 7th. I'd love it if you had a message from him to his mum. Okay. I'm just going to take that off screen for a sec, Joshua. No, I can't see it all. I want to say to you, first off, very, 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 very close friend to you. Probably a bit more than a friend, from what I'm feeling. With all due respects, I mean, my massive condolences, but all due respects. I know. This is always going to be tough, this one, because I'm feeling the emotion that comes with it, and that's just what empaths do, because they get it full barrel. Now, I know you couldn't have done any more than you did. It's almost like that you were running to jump in to help, running to dive in to help. These are the things that Spirit is showing and throwing at me. There's nothing more that you could have done. I need to say to you also too that his mum, God love her, his mum has a I don't like to call it a shrine, but his mum has some really special prints that she's had done, and there's a few things that have been like blown up and then put into very special frames and such, and the display is actually quite spectacular. And again, I feel from him, he understands that mum's heart is breaking, but he also understands that life couldn't be as he wanted it to be. I also have to say to you too that you have a shirt. I believe it's like a t-shirty fabric. If I was to walk into your bedroom and look at the set of drawers on the right hand side, I believe it's in the middle drawer. And I believe at times, and with the greatest respect, I believe at times that you bring it out and you hold it, you remember him, you look at I think you've got some beautiful photos of him too, and you remember the good things. And part of me personally wants to say that when you remember the good things, I mean, grief is different for everybody, and there's no time limit on grief at all. Like, and nobody can say to you, "Oh, get over it." It's time, because there is no time limit. But to embrace him when you think of those wonderful moments is one of the best things that you can do. And talk to him. He's kind of saying, talk to him, because he will respond. And I need to sort of say to you to pass on to mum. There is a plant outside of her kitchen window, I believe. If I go through her kitchen and go out the back door, where am I going? I'm also going to the right. There's a plant that she's planted for him, in memory of, and I think that's just flowered as well. And that would probably, those blooms would probably be very fragrant by the time we get to the 7th, because it's the 3rd today. But also too, raise a glass and embrace him on the 7th, if you can actually be with his mum. She might need that extra special hug, but from my heart to yours, it's a massive gratitude of what you tried to do, what you tried to say. As I said, there was nothing more you could have done, at all. And I have to say that he's in no pain. He's very much at peace, and now sort of more at peace with himself, if that makes sense. He's very sorry to the ones left behind, but if you hear a whisper, so I'm guessing he might have a quiet voice. If you hear a whisper, it's him. If you feel that someone is walking behind you and you feel that something something on the back of your head, where you think, oh, what was that? That's him, because he as much as he has a quiet voice and can be quite shy at times, he's also a person with a sense of humor, and this is what he's bringing through, and this is why I'm smiling, because I got emotional in the beginning because it seemed quite hard. It seemed like everybody was still really suffering, and that's why I took it to heart. But to see him put his hands open to embrace, he's asking you then to embrace back. Yeah. So I hope that helps in a special way, and pass on my love to mum, because the love's coming through from him, and adores what she's done, in remembrance of him, because he feels like he doesn't need to be in certain ways, but he embraces that as well. But yeah, so Joshua, thank you for joining. Thank you for wanting to connect with him, because a very beautiful soul, So yeah, thank you. And I hope with all my heart that you can let me know how you feel with that. Let me know how you go. That would be wonderful. So thank you. Okay. Hey, Helen, how are you? Love to you. Love to you. And look, you know mum's around. You know there's certain things that, you know, mum said, mum did, um, but did them with love. Did them with love. And initially, like I wanted to say, like I did on the day, condolences, as such, but I feel like it was, um, please with the greatest respect, but it was, as Spirit is kind of saying, she was past her time, because there was things that she didn't kind of want people to see, and she wanted, because she has this bit of this stigma around dignity and so forth, but she's a beautiful soul, and she gained the most glamorous I want to say, wings, but wraps them around you quite often. And I also want to say to you too that there's times when you're sitting reading a book that you kind of get lost. You kind of, you're reading, and all of a sudden you go quite vague is the word I want to say, because I think that you hear her or you feel her, and you actually stop reading, and then when you think, oh, could that be right? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. And I think you doubt a little bit, like doubt yourself, not doubt. I know you believe in spirit, so it's not doubting that. It's doubting yourself and your own capabilities and your own ability to tune into her. And then you kind of go, oh, where was I reading? Like, oh, did I not off for a while? So you seem to have this little bit of a thing with a book. But I want to say to you, her in her early day too used to read a hell of a lot. And that was her way of learning. That was her way of, being how do I say, again, with respect, like coming across as a bit more intellectual and all that sort of stuff. So that was mum. So, love to you with from mum. She's a beautiful soul, forever in your heart. Yeah. Awesome woman. Awesome woman. And my love to you too, Helen. I would love to see you again very soon. Yeah, it's been a long time, my love. Been a long time. Hey, Michael. Just want to repose my question in case it gets lost. Yes, I wanted to know if you see me moving to North Queensland early 2021 and anything around the move. Michael, thank you for joining. It's been a while since I've had a chat to you. I think we kind of lost contact there for a while through Instagram or wherever it was. But then you went off and created something fab in your world of career, which was awesome. I hope that's still going all okay. I feel it is. I feel like that's even progressing more, maybe a little bit on hold through COVID, but I feel that's progressed quite well in everything. Um, moving to Queensland, I actually don't see it early 2021. I feel like there'll be some hiccups, but mainly hiccups in what you're doing right now. Now, I have to ask, because Spirit has brought it through this way, are you doing that to escape okay, I have to say it, escape the crap that's gone on? Sorry, I have to say it as I hear it. But Spirit wants to know, are you just doing it to escape, I have to repeat it again, the crap that you've gone through in Melbourne? Because if you are, the crap will follow. If you're doing it for other reasons, and what Spirit says are the right reasons, then everything will flow a lot smoother. If there's something that needs to be resolved from where you are now, please resolve that. Okay? Nothing, no biggie, but resolve it before you have any intentions of moving anywhere, is what I get guided with there. But also too, like, Spirit's kind of wondering, are you taking that what I would call leap of faith to expand? Because there's something about, if you go there, There's opportunities to expand, but you have to go there with the right attitude and the right reasons. So just let me know on that one, because it's interesting the way that they're saying it. It's interesting the way they're saying it. I do feel though, because you do ladies, don't get overexcited, but yes, you do like, male models and things like that. Yes, the warmer weather would be wonderful, but also too, a lot more of the backdrops would be very different as well. So I don't know whether you Spirit is weird tonight. I don't, because they're saying, I don't know whether you have not as many backdrops to choose from anymore. That's what I don't know where that comes from. But anyway, that's what they're throwing at me, so I've got to repeat it. But also too, going further up the coast, you have opportunities with a lot more different areas and a lot more different people that are more accustomed to doing what you do. Okay. So it's a bit long-winded from Spirit, but I'm sure that you'll understand what that is. But also too, yeah, I have to come back to the resolve whatever it is before you look. Because if you look in those areas to move, if something is unresolved, you're not going to be looking in the right areas. Okay? Because you'll be kind of looking very quickly and kind of going, do you know what? That looks great. That looks great. Going to go there, instead of taking your time and seeing everything clearly. Okay? It's a little bit of stop and smell the roses to work out what is the best place for you to be. Okay? So let me know how you go. I feel that you'll be okay though. I really feel that will be fine. Okay. Absolutely true. Absolutely true, Andrew. Every psychic brings something different to the table. They really do. Okay. I'm a reader but can't read for myself. I love that. You know why? Can I answer your question like, why that happens? Because because every card means, every card has umpteen thousand different, well, not thousands, but umpteen different ways of reading the card, because it depends on what is next to it. It depends on whether it's upside down. It depends on what's on the other side of it. So the card can have, a card can have 6, 7, 8 different meanings. And when you read for yourself, you read in what you want. So that's probably why you don't get the exact answer all the time, because you take from it as you wish rather than surveying it as an outsider for somebody else. Yeah. I feel that you're very good at what you do. I feel that I feel COVID has kind of like, put you in a bit of a bad position as well. But that's okay, because we're coming out the other side of that. But because we're focusing on your love life, I need to kind of say to you, where is the stability? What's gone wrong with like, what's gone wrong with the stability in just even your life? Like, just forget love life for a second. Just in your life itself, like, there's Spirit is showing me like umpteen dozen hills climbing over. It's just like, I've got to do this one. I've got to come to there. I've got to climb again. I've got to do it again. So it seems that, the last 2 years, there's been a lot of ups and downs. And, well, I shouldn't laugh, but more so too, I guess I need to come to the point too that Spirit is saying that throughout COVID, if we didn't have COVID, this probably wouldn't have happened for you. But throughout COVID, because things got a bit tough and because there was a lot of frustrations, that there was also to you yourself lacking some motivation, lacking some, I need to do this. I need to think outside the square. How am I going to get this to work? What can I do to do that? There was no fire in your belly. And I say that with respect, my love, like total respect. But there was no actual fire in your belly. And when you have no fire in your belly, things go by the wayside, because it's almost like, it's almost like that gentleman that if he doesn't contact whoever to look for a job, it's almost like you sit and you think that everything's going to come to you. It's not. You've got to get up and embrace things. You've got to get up and say, do you know what? Shit happens. And I'm sorry if no one likes swearing, but in hindsight and everything that we've gone through with COVID, yes, shit happens and we can't change that. And what are we going to do to change it from this point forward? We have to do that. We have to think outside the square. And with you, my love, it's like you're in a relationship, you're out of a relationship, you're in a relationship, you're out of it. And it's not with different people, it's with the same person. Like, please don't think that's wrong. But it's I've got to say, it's like that you're not sure about you and putting yourself in it. Because every time you're in it and it starts to feel good, it seems like you run instead of saying. And with respect, it's like when you were younger, if something didn't feel right, or and excuse the way I say this, but I have to say it because Spirit is saying it, if you didn't understand something in school, instead of putting your hand up and asking for maybe it to be repeated, or maybe to sit next to someone, not necessarily for a tutor, but for somebody, it was easier and better for you if you just walked away, or if you just ran away, because there's this issue with acceptance. There's this issue with accepting a compliment. There's issues around that, and you can't seem to do that very well. But when you get into, everything's feeling good, you run. It's almost like you're scared. You almost sit there going, do you know what? I don't feel like I deserve this. So in case something happens, I'll just walk. That's not you. Well, it is you, but that's not the way to do things, because the more you do that, the more you're sending people mixed messages. And when you send people mixed messages, they'll get very sick of that. And I do mean that with respect, because if it's a stranger telling you this, where you're probably sitting there going, oh, wow, I never realized I was doing that. And if you start to go over some of the last couple of years, you'll realize it's a bit of a pattern. All you have to do is actively say to yourself that, that I'm going to learn how to take a compliment. I'm going to learn how to feel okay. I'm going to learn not to be that person that runs from things. It's only at that point that, that you're deciding then to make that change. And once you decide to make that change, it will be okay. Trust in you, my love. Trust in you, because, it will take some time to feel good. But when you do, you'll kind of understand what you've been, you'll say to yourself, why have I been running? Why have I been blocking? Why have I been, not accepting to certain things? It's time to change that. It's time to change it, to go, do you know what? Life can be a little bit different if I allow it. And now's the time that you do get to say, now I'm going to allow it, yeah? Let me know how you feel about that, because I feel that you will turn a corner. From today, I really I really feel that you will turn that corner. Okay. Okay. Okay, Joshua. Everything you said, wow, I can't wait to tell her the photos of the plant. Perfectly spot on. Joshua, thank you for staying. Thank you for that feedback. It was a pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure to feel him, yeah? And my love to you as well, yeah? Brilliant. Okay. Let me go through some stuff. Okay, I did Helen. Hunted Leanne. Don't forget to like and share the feed, everyone, because that gives you a greater chance on getting a reading. I know some of you are here each week, which is fabulous. I love the followers that I have. You're absolutely beautiful. And yeah, the more now we're in December, the more you like and share any live feed, your name goes into a hat to win, because of Christmas Eve. We've got prizes, we've got giveaways, we've got a few different things up my sleeve, so it's going to be fun. That one will be a later show. That one will be a 10:30 p.m. show, so we can get into the Christmas, so we can celebrate at midnight and keep going type thing. Yeah, so that would be wonderful. Breezer, can you just elaborate a bit more on your question, please? Because on here you're asking what do I see for the next few months. Can you just elaborate on what you're actually really searching for to happen in the next few months? That'd be awesome. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go to Kim. Okay. Is there a message from my sister or granddaughter, please? Kim, I actually feel that with you, there's so much love energy around you, and embracing that every day makes you feel really connected. Your sister, I want to say, with respect, is probably the you're going to probably tell me it's the other way, but I feel like she's the quieter one out of the two of you, and but I feel in spirit world she is the louder one, as opposed to you, if that makes sense. It's more about her trying to connect with you, and I'm just being taken on a little stroll. So if okay, where is she taking me? Okay, if I was to come into your front door and go to the left, and then kind of walk down I don't think it's a very big hallway. I think it's quite a short hallway, and the next room on the left, if I was to go in there, I feel her in there actually. But I also feel there's something of hers in that room. And I actually want to say to you that you often sit in that room, not necessarily to sit there and remember her, but there's something of hers in that room. And it can be something as simple as a photo, but it seems that her energy is in that room. And I actually feel quite warm and I feel quite okay in that room. But I also want to say to you that if I came out of that room and decided to go to your kitchen, there is I don't know what relevance this is, but there seems to be a fancy display plate or something, quite colourful, that she says is inside a cupboard, and you're not putting it on display. You're not putting things on it to, even if you're putting fruit on it, like nobody is seeing it. It's more about, are you frightened of colour? Are you? I don't think you are, but this is how spirit brings certain things through. So I was all warm and wonderful in that room, and now there's a little bit of a dig about this particular plate, which I believe is like it's not a round, it's not perfectly flat, and it's not a bowl, but it seems to have some roundness to it. But it's like there's all these different colours in it. It's quite different, I want to say, but to me, I feel that also too is quite effective. I think it would be a talking point, but I think it has something to do with her because she's directing me to that. So yeah, but yeah, a lot of love, a huge amount of love, where she, it's almost like I get the comment of, you guys thought it was tough through COVID, keeping your distance. I always have to keep my distance, and there was many hugs that I had. But now I'm wondering if you feel them. So she obviously comes to you often, and if you have her in your dreams, or if you wake up and you feel like you wake up in a bit of a start because you feel like you've been touched, that is being touched by her, and she this plate. She keeps coming about these plates. I want to say that she has pretty colourful wings as well, but I keep coming back to this plate. But yeah, just let me know, Kim, how that resonates with you. That'd be fab. she's I believe that what she's saying, because that she's the character now. Yeah, I kind of believe in what I'm feeling. But yeah. Let me see what I've got here. Oh, okay. All right, that's bizarre. Yes, too. They were next door to each other. Okay. Okay, you need to remember how you feel in both of them before, and put that energy into your thought processes, and it will come. Yeah. Melissa, I'm going with you. Uh, I know that you're pushing. Okay. Spirit is saying to me, and I don't know how you feel about this. Spirit is directing me to, if you continue to push with the same, and the same is not listening, you seriously need to go elsewhere. Because if you're wasting your energy in repeating yourself, in demanding answers with the same person, then that same person is not listening. But you going to somebody else this far down the track, I don't know how successful that would be. However, Spirit tells me sometimes fresh eyes are the best, and don't be frightened of young. Because sometimes if you go to see someone new and they're young, you kind of go, oh, well, what will they know? But they actually get taught all the new things. So, to me, I wouldn't care probably if I was young, because they're getting taught all the new things that are coming out, rather than the older people who are stuck in their ways. So maybe that's a hint also too from Spirit, or with what you're going through now, with continually pushing for answers, because Spirit says, yes, you need to continue pushing, that's for sure, but is it constructive? Because when you push, it's like when you have a what can I say? It's like when you have a, I don't know, a young child, and you're, make your bed, make your bed, make your bed, and they're not listening, because you go in and make your bed. Well, you're not going to come up with the answers, but if you go elsewhere, I believe you need to, because the same person, it's like you're a broken record with the same person, and it's almost like you ask the same question and you're getting a different answer at times. And it's almost like that person is beating around the bush time and time again. Yeah. And I feel that if you by chance just walk in somewhere, and I don't want you to start afresh as such, but part of me knows that if you go to someone new, you have to start afresh, but take a stack of stuff that you already have, yeah? Because when you take that stack of stuff, then that person is not really starting afresh, because they will have some, like, certain things, certain medical stuff in front of them from you, where they can just look through that and go, do you know what? If that's all been done and these are the answers, then I need to do something else. And it's that something else that this person that you're seeing right now is not doing. Yeah. That's what I feel quite strongly there. Yeah. So yes, just let me know. Just let me know. Dana, thank you. I think you would benefit. Because I think there's a lot of stuff going on with you, yeah. But anyway, we can talk about that later. Okay. Bianca, hello. Thank you for joining. I hope you've liked and shared the feed, because I will be able to see that. Anyway, let me have a look. I actually want to say to you, you used to pick flowers with your nan. Your nan was a great gardener, and love to even have excuse me, love to have the flowers that you picked. And I'm talking about when you were a child. Well, child as in, I think they're taking me to when you were at 10 or something. Because I can see a particular type of basket thing that Nan carried, but there was only kind of like certain flowers that you were told that you were allowed to pick. And I think there was a couple of times that you picked something that probably shouldn't have been picked, and there seems to be a little smack on the hand. But you and your nan were great talkers. Like, you were great communicators. And as a child, I actually want to say to you, maybe I'm heading out like to a past life as such, but as a child, you communicated so well that it almost came across as an adult. Yeah. And your nan was just, she just embraced all of that. She just took it all on board, and she spoke back, and your communication level was extremely high. But I also want to say to you that did she bake you a particular cake or biscuit? Like, was there a favorite that she used to bake you something? Because it seems to be when you visited her, she, obviously earlier in her life, she used to bake you something, and it was almost like you walked in and went, oh, yes, I'm with Nan. So you have that, also that wonderful connection where you actually, would sit down and again, communicate so well, and, talk over a cup of tea and whatever she'd bake, because to me, she's a whiz in the kitchen. A beautiful whiz in the kitchen, actually. It's almost like I can smell, it's almost like a smell of Anzac biscuits, or like rock cakes, or something like that, because that's the sort of like smell I'm being thrown at the moment. But yeah, a very beautiful soul. Needs to kind of say, watch what you're doing. Are you going to progress with further studies? There's something along this study line that Nan seems to be asking about. If you're putting something to the side for a little bit, don't put it to the side for too often, because you need to throw yourself into it. Yeah, it's will benefit you quicker in the long run if you don't put it aside for so long. If it's already aside right now, excuse me, consider getting back into it fairly quickly. Yeah. But yeah, that's where she seems to be directing me. So I hope that helps. And yeah, please let me know how that resonates with you. That's lovely. Thank you. Okay, let me have a look. Renard, how are you? My brother's dog died in my arms 3 weeks ago. Just wondering what caused his passing. Okay. I don't ever claim to be a medical intuitive. Sometimes spirit does throw me into that realm, but I certainly don't highlight it on any of my pages as such. I've never proclaimed to be an animal communicator. But yeah, sometimes asking the question, spirit will throw it at me, and I seem to be I seem to be getting thrown to a twist in the tummy. I don't know, what's a twist in the tummy? What does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean he's eaten something that he shouldn't have? And something hasn't sat right in his tummy. What is a twisted tummy? What is that? I need to just sort of clarify that with spirit, actually. Okay. It seems I don't know what happened on the actual day as such. I'm not being shown much that happened on that day, because I am sort of seeing like being cradled, but I think that was when you knew he was crook. But because I heard the word twisted tummy in the beginning, I'm also concerned about what happened prior to it. Like, what happened an hour or two prior to it? Were you walking somewhere? Did he stop and eat something? Because if that's the case, then something that he's eaten is wrong. But I want to say to you, I don't think that the vet has told you that he was poisoned as such. But the twisted tummy. I have to go with it. I am being shown that prior to it, he did eat something, and that somehow, or whatever was in whatever he ate, became stuck, or made his tummy. I don't know how you make a tummy twist, but it caused an issue there. And from that point on, whatever it is, it was kind of like, because there was something wrong with it, because there was like a poison, because there was something, it kind of went through his system pretty quickly. But I have to say to you also too, that he knows he was being loved on his way out, and that's really important for an animal to actually know that someone is embracing them with so much love, and not wanting, like, doing everything they can to protect them and to help them through any sickness. And I don't think anyone could have predicted this. I don't know that anyone could have helped him further on the day, because it seems like whatever it was just too quick. However, I just keep seeing these. And I know it's a saying, the puppy dog eyes, but I keep seeing that that he feels so loved, that you loved so much, that others loved him so much. But yeah, I mean, he's certainly okay where he is, and kind of says, don't worry, you'll hear me. I don't know whether you can ask your brother this. You'll hear me bark every so often and think I'm back. So that's excuse me. That's obviously Puppy being very cheeky there. But apparently, I don't know. Ask your brother. I believe that I think maybe he's already heard him bark, or even yourself has heard him bark as well. But yeah, just as I do, just smile when you hear it, because it's so beautiful. And yeah, that was just so very cute. So thank you for your question. I am sorry for your loss though, but just know that he's okay. And as these puppy dog eyes show me, very grateful for all the love. Yeah, that's just awesome. That's so nice. Okay, Nita, you can't find the scarf. Okay, I look. I'm only directed what spirit tells me, and I don't know whether one day it will just pop up. You might move something out of the blue, and all of a sudden it will be there. Pardon the pun. I said out of the blue then, because it was blue, wasn't it? From memory, what he said. And yeah, it's just, you might have already moved it somewhere and not realized, and you're moving something else one day, and it'll just be there. Yeah. Um, it's funny. Um, okay. Okay. Okay, Crystal, I'm not understanding your comments from my father-in-law bothering you like me. I'm not understanding. Maybe I've missed something along the way. If you might maybe enlighten me, that would be awesome. Okay. Wow, this is big feedback that probably is not going to fit. Starting your Insta, I'll add you. I'm focusing more on my crystal business. I'm taking my psychic work more seriously. Well done. I've closed the model business now and focus more on my film. So that will be the backdrop you saw. Need to work out what the unresolved issue is, that my creative work will expand in Port Douglas. Awesome. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Michael. I look forward to checking that out on Insta. Thank you for that. But thank you also too for your validation, and this is what this is what all this is about. This is when when I use the word latch on, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. When you latch on with a psychic or a medium that is truly authentic, everything resonates with you at some point. If it doesn't resonate with you tonight, it might resonate with you tomorrow or the day after, and you kind of go, oh, is that what she was talking about? But yeah, it's a way that people kind of go, I mean, human beings are not silly anymore. I mean, you do know who's kind of fluffing and who's not. And with all due respect to a lot of us in the industry that are authentic, it can, it can get a bit disturbing when there's others that claim to say they can do what they do and they don't. And you lovely viewers, put your trust in us as well, as because and even with all my other training behind everything that I do, yes, I was born a natural psychic, but I have studied, oh God, many years, probably too many to name, but I've done degrees in holistic counseling and empowerment coaching and psychotherapy and spiritual and spiritual healing and all sorts of things, motivational speaking, like a lot of different areas where I can help when I see something in a reading. If you come to me for a one-on-one reading and it's an hour long or even longer, I pick up on so many things, past, present and future. And if there's something that's gone, upsetting or a trauma or anything in your past, the other side of me that is trained for many years will also be able to help you through that. And that's the most beautiful thing about doing what I do, because I'm not just a psychic that might turn over tarot cards. I'm not just a medium who will connect with spirit. I'm so much more. And I'm blessed that, a lot of you people, a lot of my viewers enjoy that. And you understand that I'm far more than just turning over tarot cards and stuff like that. So I appreciate all your love, all your support, because that's always, very beautiful. Okay, let me have a look here. Lisa, I would love a message if possible and drawn. Okay, Lisa, what am I focusing on though? You got a particular question? I will look out for it, because you know me on these lives, it's a case of ask me something, don't ask me for a general, because they're just generals is like having an hour of reading with me to get through everything. So it'd be really good if you can pop back in and ask a specific question. I will get to you. Okay. I think you've okay. I know you've liked and shared. Please hit me up with a question. Lynn, thank you so much. It was really, I even got sentimental there. It was really beautiful. Yeah, I love it when the spirit really takes me into someone's heart. It's just extraordinary, extraordinary. Okay. I need to. Okay. When will you move into your nan's house? Okay. Have we been down this path before? I think we have. But that's okay. That's okay. Sorry, when you see me look away or stare into space, guys, don't ever think I'm not doing anything. What I'm doing is I kind of, like, spirit shows me things, and they often show it, over there or over there, and I have to kind of sometimes just look and focus on what I'm being shown. I mean, yes, I hear a lot, but sometimes when they show me particular things, I do go off in what sometimes looks like a little trance, and that's more so that I'm being I'm focusing what they're doing for me and what they're showing me. So please don't ever think that I'm looking away and not focusing on you guys, because I am, and yeah. Okay. We move into your nan's house. I feel there's still a bit of legal technicalities that are going on, and I still feel like there's questions to be answered. So I don't know if you're asking the questions like to a lawyer or to somebody in the know, where you're not understanding what's taking so long. I feel there's a little bit of miscommunication there. I feel like there's now frustration more than anything, because certain questions that I think you have asked are not being responded to. Or maybe they're being responded to in a certain way, but they're not giving you the answers that you seek, if that makes sense. So I have to kind of wonder what that is, because I feel that from that your frustration is getting just really high. However, I do see that you have endurance, but I do see that you're getting very tired with it all, as well as because this should have happened, from what Spirit says, this should have happened at least 3 months ago. And I'm I don't want to bring COVID into everything, but I've had to bring it in a few times tonight. But I feel also too that COVID did kind of stuff it up in a way. However, you still need to get those questions answered. I don't know if you put the questions have been put in writing, because if you write to someone with questions, they actually have to respond. I can't ignore that. Whereas verbally, some people can not answer or say they'll get back to you as such, and they don't, because it's a verbal thing. So maybe start questioning some things in writing. However, I actually don't see you in there for Christmas. I'm sorry. I think you'll be having Christmas where you are. But I would be getting prepared myself, like the way I'm hearing from Spirit. I would be getting prepared for early February. And I know that still might be a little far away for your liking, because, as I said, it should have probably already happened. But I feel that early Feb is virtually like the time to kind of go, wow, we're here. Yeah. Because I just got this huge, like, relief kind of thing that went over me, and it was like, you know what, if we can get in there quicker, great. If some of those questions get answered by chance, you might get in there a little bit early, but I Spirit is very, very much directing me to the first week of Feb. So any earlier than that, I wouldn't. Last week of Jan, but I still feel it's Feb. I don't think it'll be, I certainly don't feel it'll be Christmas time. So unfortunately, I wouldn't plan for being in Nan's house for Christmas. But you know what? It's coming around sooner than, that we may have thought a while ago, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to... I'm just going to jump on this one. No, you're not blocked. I don't understand why you've said that, but I don't think I've seen your question throughout the night. But as I said, I don't. The questions come up so quickly. I don't see, they come up so quickly and then they're gone, and then I have to keep scrolling up and down. So I don't miss anybody deliberately. Again, liking and sharing the feed, of course, flicks you into, above your name has the little shared thing. If I don't see that, sometimes, if they go all past me very quickly, I virtually don't get to see that. But but that certainly helps. But as I said, I certainly don't miss anybody deliberately. I'm here, for 2 hours. I think we've gone over that already. Yeah, just gone over there. Every week, and I try to get to as many as I can. Yeah. Okay. Jim, I referred to rheumatoid. Now looking at. Okay. Do you think it is this? If Spirit saying anything, thanks. I'm glad you've been referred on. That's the first thing I want to say, because it's been because you've asked the questions, which I think from memory I told you to go in there and kind of demand a few things. So I'm glad they're listening to that part. What will they find? I think they'll find a couple of things. I know what they're going to be looking for, but I think they'll find something else around that as well. But look, again, I don't see anything bad. Like, every time I look at this, it's I see things are progressing each and every time. And I do think that there is going to be an outcome sooner rather than later. But everything is treatable. And I know you've said once before that, it can cause you great pain at times. And I get that. And I can't change that for you, unfortunately. But yeah, I wish I could change people's pain sometimes. I can't, but I really think they're moving towards the right path. I just think there's something else with this at the same time, but it will be found. Now, the rheumatologist, he or she will look at a few different things. Don't be surprised if they test you for other things at the same time, because he will be looking for because some things in that particular field need to have, for instance, how can I say it, like A, B, or C need to kind of all match up before they can say, yes, that's it. So they have to kind of test things that belong to A, B, and C, if that makes sense. So don't kind of think, oh my God, he's just taking my money and he's asking for all these tests. There's certain things in that field that actually have to go together. Yeah. But I think he'll be very good. I think that he will, how do I say it? I think that he will be very thorough, and I think he will feel your frustration probably 10 minutes into your appointment. Yeah. But he'll be a person that will actually say to you, I'm here to find whatever it is. Okay. So I think he'll actually be very, very good. Let me know how you go after you see him, and let me know how you feel when you've seen him. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, I have her photos in that room, and yes, she was quite the quiet one. As for the plate, it's a platter with many colours. She liked it, but I never put it out because I don't want to get broken. Sweetheart, please just put it out. It won't get broken. Put it somewhere that's not accessible for, someone to bump it off the thing or whatever the case may be. If she has directed me to that, it's probably she's missing not seeing it. And if she liked it so much and she can't see it, it may be, I'm only saying maybe, it may be why sometimes you can't hear her from spirit world, because she's kind of saying, well, if you can't put anything out I like, why am I coming, type thing, yeah? Thank you for your validation, though. It's priceless. Look, and also too, I mean, we have gone over 2 hours. I just want to say too, these little validations that you're putting up on the feed are absolutely wonderful. Because I get to see it straight away, which is fab. Because then I go, oh, yes, I've done something else right. No, I think it's fabulous that you take the time to actually validate. But if you want to go that one step further, if you want to go onto my Ms Tique Psychic Medium Facebook page, or this particular Facebook page, and write me a review, I have a saying in my bio that the best compliment that you can give me is to pass my name on to others. But if you can also, write a review because you're embracing who I am, or you're embracing what you got told from spirit or from, from your loved one, then that goes even further. So, if you can do that, absolutely fabulous. Yeah. Awesome. Of course you will, Kim. We go back to Tuesday nights because this week was a little bit different because of what I had to just get sorted this week for the awards thing. But yeah, Tuesday nights 8:00 is where we'll be going. Yeah, Bianca, like you've got a question mark against Anzac biscuits. I'm not sure what she used to bake. It's something that I was smelling something like Anzac biscuits or some sort of rock cake or something or other, because it was a sweetish smell, like so something that was baked that smelt sweet. That's what I was smelling, and that's what that was the first thing I could think of. Yeah. So anyway. I saw a different doctor today who is going to do some more tests, but didn't really seem interested. Living in a town makes it difficult, but we'll try another opinion, as this one was just pushing me out the door. Okay, you need to not be pushed out the door, my love. It's a case of you need to be heard. No one's going to come to the bottom of anything unless they're taking you seriously and taking on board everything that's been, possibly done already. But looking for answers. If you've got questions for a doctor and they're pushing you out the door, no, you need to go somewhere that someone's going to listen to you and at least try to give you some answers and be constructive in what they're doing. Because that's why you're paying them, for God's sake. So that needs to happen more often than not. Yeah. Okay. I am going to finish up. I have gone over the 2 hours. I am going to finish up, and okay. I just want to. Sorry, just come down. Okay. I thought we had another. Another person. What are they called? Troll. I just had that feeling. That's why I just had to come down and do this. It's just, oh my God, it looks like they've gone into everybody. So everybody, this person is called Hey Y Dot. Yeah, just another troll. Please do not answer them. They'll try and get your money virtually straight away. So please just thank you, Kara. You've said you've reported. Thank you. But well, in hindsight, it's only 3 tonight. I think there was another night that we had about 5 of them, didn't we? But that's okay. Get rid of that. So as I said, yeah, I am going to finish up. Just a reminder for next week, definitely back to Tuesday night, 8:00. Remember tonight, as of tonight, liking and sharing the feed will obviously, got you a better chance of a reading. I cannot get to everybody on every night, so I do apologize for the ones that I couldn't get to tonight. If I kept, answering every single person, I'd be here past midnight, and I just can't do that. So I'm sure you can appreciate that too. And also too, leading up to from tonight onwards, anyone who likes and shares any of my live feeds right up to the Christmas Eve, their name excuse me, after every show, their names get put into a hat for the giveaways and so forth that we have, or that I have to give to you guys for Christmas. And also noting too, I'm happy to Australia, I'm happy to post if you're a winner, if you're an overseas winner, then you will get things like, a free reading and stuff like that. So anyway, because I can't, just post things overseas willy-nilly. So yeah. Anyway, so yes, oh my goodness, that person really went to town, didn't they? Lisa, thank you. That's lovely. Sorry, I was just looking for any other hackers. Alrighty, I'm going to finish up. As I said, like I'm very sorry for those that I've missed. We'll be back on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Sydney Eastern Standard Daylight Time. If you want to book in for a reading, please do so. You can inbox me on any of my pages. You can go onto my website, Mystique, MSTIQUE.net, and book in a reading. If you're not in Australia, I can still do phone, like WhatsApp, Skype, all that sort of thing in your readings. So I've worked with overseas clients for many years, so that always works brilliantly. Plus, we can do like Zoom if you wish, also too. We can do a Zoom session. So all that can be established as well as. So I wish to thank everybody who joined this evening. If you've got any feedback as such, that would be great. Excuse me. Excuse me. I mean, certainly the validations that I've had on screen tonight have been wonderful, and yeah, if you wanted to, as I said, if you wanted to leave a review, that is a huge compliment, on my Mystique Psychic Medium page or this page. Of course, that also to enables others to read, what I'm about, or how I operate, things like that, or how you felt with getting a reading from me. So again, I do want to thank you very much for everybody who has joined tonight. Very, very honored to bring you what I can. Please don't be angry if I've missed you, like I've said that before, because just sometimes it's just impossible to get to everybody. And as I said, I do try, because I want to keep you guys happy. So love from me. Have a great rest of the week. It'll be a short distance till we see one another again. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. right here on Mystical Mystique Live TV. And I will see you very soon. I hope you all have a great weekend. See ya.